What's good, my loves? It's your girl Maria Bay. I'm back with another video for you guys. So today, it might be a long video because we're doing a movie review today, and it's about the movie The Reading. If you haven't seen The Reading, I suggest you go on BEC Plus, go see and check it out. It's a good movie. It's not that scary. I know I don't like scary movies, but this movie had me intrigued. Okay, I was like, what? But yeah, so basically, the movie The Reading is a woman who house got invaded. She had a home invasion. She lost her family and she barely survived. So let's get into it. So it's Monique's character Emma. When it first come on, Emma just got back because she is an author. She writes books for a living, obviously. So it looked like she was coming back from like a tour, like a book sale tour or something, and promoting her book. And she was coming back home. She's greeted by her family. She's greeted by her husband Matthew. She's greeted by her daughter Kendall, and she's greeted by her son Kyron. So yeah, so all them it's just like it looked like a normal happy-go-lucky family. So you look like, okay, this ain't what I seen on the trailer, but okay. So you look at it like, oh, this is a normal happy-go-lucky family, right? So they miss their mom, they all lovey-dovey, yada yada. So she's in the kitchen. The next scene basically shows she's in the kitchen cooking for her family. Her husband is in his office. The baby is in the tub, which the baby looked at about, I want to say 4 or 5. And of course, Kendall, she's a teenager, so she's texting in her room, like, so everybody is in different parts. So outside of the house is a group of people dressed in all black, of course. So they came in the house. I don't know how they got in the house, but yeah. So they came in the house or whatever, and when they entered the house, I guess Monique character Emma felt something, that somebody was there watching them or whatever. So she was like, Alexa, stop. Like, she was playing music, by the way. So she had Alexa to stop the music. So you will see each person that's dressed in all black. One goes to the husband office, the other one goes to Kendall's room, and the other one goes to the bathroom, the Kyron. So when she started the music, you like, okay, all of them about to die, right? Wrong. So she listened. She like, okay, nobody's here. She thought. So she was like, okay, Alexa, play music. So when Alexa started playing the music, that when all the death starts to happening, right? So I'm like, what the world? I was like, who would drown an innocent child? Who would their, suffocate the daughter? Why they stab the husband in the head? Look like, and Monique part was sickening. So they beating up Monique in the kitchen, throwing stuff on her, and they chopped one of her fingers off. So I was like, what the world? I was like, yo, this is about to be crazy. So Monique never played in nothing like this. So you looking like, okay, this is weird, right? So like a year or two later, Monique character Emma came on to the scene, right? She came on this TV show, this talk show, and she was announcing her new book called The Invasion. So she barely could speak. Her speech was off due to the accident. So she like, I, you know, like she talked like that. Like, I can't believe it, like she got a speech impediment. So yeah, so it's like, okay, like, what the world? So they was telling her like they was sorry that happened to her family, that they want her to come back on the show. and they just wish her well. Also, Emma, she couldn't walk. She barely could walk. She had to walk around with a cane. Um, her speech was obviously messed up. Like, it done some damage to her, okay? So the next scene after that, we are visited by the reader, Sky. Sky, her friend Randy, who's behind the camera, her homegirl Jessica, who they call Jess. She's a nurse, so she is checking Sky blood pressure and everything, make sure she's good while she's doing the reading. And her boyfriend, um, his name is Greg, if I'm not mistaken. You know, he sets up the readings for her. So Sky basically has the gift. So basically, you know, scamming people basically. So they scamming people out their money by doing these readings and all that. And they was introduced to do a reading for this dude named Johnny. So Johnny's trying to contact his mother. He's a college student and he's doing a reading with them, and they just all smiling when she was telling him some things, but she was like, oh, but wait, before the door closes, your mom has a message for you. And he was like, okay, what's the message? And she was like, oh, she wants you to donate some money for this children organization, and she wants you to get it out your trust fund. And he was like, oh, I thought I wasn't supposed to touch the money until after I graduate. And she was like, Scott was like, oh no, she wants you to go ahead and give the money to the organization. So he was like, of course. So in the midst of that, I guess in the midst of him wiring the money to them or whatever for the organization, she seen something behind him, right? So she seen a spirit. She seen his mom's spirit. So the spirit is basically trying to attach itself to Sky. So Sky was like, okay, that's it. We gotta hurry this up. So when I seen that, I was like, I believe that spirits are real. I do not play with stuff like that. And I ain't finna open no door, you know what I'm saying, to the other side, you know. I ain't trying to see no friends on the other side, you feel me? So I was like, that part creeped me out. I was like, what the world? So anyway, so they left that scene. The next scene, you know, her and her boyfriend looked like they was at a coffee shop getting breakfast. And she was just talking to him like, I don't want to do this no more. And he was trying to convince her like, come on, do this not only for us. If you don't do it for us, do it for your mom. Because her and her mom was struggling with paying bills and stuff like that. And she was like, nah, like, I can't do it because, like, you remember the boy Johnny? And he was like, yeah, the dude from the last reading, what's up? She was like, I didn't want to tell y'all, but his mother was trying to attach herself on me. And he was like, what happens if they touch you? And she was like, if they touch me, you know, I become possessed. And he was like, oh, what happens if they do touch you and they do possess you and all that? And she was like, she basically probably could lose her life and all that. So anyway, she was just explaining like she don't want to do it because she ain't trying to get possessed. It happened before, I guess, while she was younger. So yeah. So after that, she went home. She talked to her mom. And her mom was like, where you been? What's up? So as she was talking to her mom, you know, she was asking her mom if she got the money. And mom was like, yeah, you don't got to worry about no bills. Just get your education. I got the bills. And her mom was saying one of her male friends was coming over to drop some money. So basically, we all know what that means, you know. So Sky was looking at her funny like, oh, so he coming to just drop off money. And the mom was like, yeah, just to drop the money off. So Sky looking like, yeah, you about to, yeah, for the money. So after that, the next scene after that is the group was supposed to come together back at the coffee shop to discuss the reading with Miss Emma. So before they did it, Sky, she was looking, she's on her laptop looking at past due bills, and she just looked like she was frustrated. So her friend Jess came in, and she was like, "Hey, girl." So she was about to tell Jess, like, "Yo, I'm like about to quit that day. Like, yo, I'm done doing this." But she thought Jess already knew, because Jess like, "Oh yeah, your boyfriend already told me, and yeah, we already know." So she was like, "So you okay?" So she thought Jess already knew, but Jess didn't know. So they was talking about two different names, basically. So yeah. So Randy, Jess, boyfriend, and Sky, they all came together, and the boyfriend basically sets up the readings and stuff like that. So you might as well say he's Sky's boyfriend slash manager type mess. So anyway, make a long story short, so the dude was like, "Hey, there's a lady who want to book a reading. She's a famous author, and she just came out with a new book called The Invasion, The Home Invasion, whatever. And she want to book a reading." So her sister-in-law slash manager, Emma's sister-in-law slash manager, Ashley, is booking a reading for her because
I
she
want to
know
say
it's
here
fake.
the
She feel like it's
reason
fake,
the sister
and
in law wanted them to do the
she
reading
basically
for
was saying
Emma
they gonna get
because they
paid
wanted the book to
20,000,
sell. So they
and
thought if they do a reading
if
that
they kind
the
of
book would have
do certain
more
things, they
sales
probably get paid
and
more, like a hundred
it'll
thousand.
just
So
they'll have a large
I'm
profit
like the friend
for the
just
book
like, how much we
sales.
get
So
paid? That's
yeah,
five
that's
thousand
why
each.
she wanted her to do the
But if
reading.
we do more, we could get 100,000. Like, what we sign up at? But it's not up to them because they don't have the gift. It's up to Sky. So that what they was basically saying. So the boyfriend was basically telling them like, "Hey, this lady been through a lot. She barely survived the home invasion with her and her family. Um, like they did a number on her. She barely could walk. She barely could talk, and all this and third. So they looking like, dang, that's messed up. But Sky isn't feeling it. So basically, the boyfriend was about the money. Securing the bag. Like he really didn't listen to Sky at the coffee shop. That you know, she don't want to do it because she don't want the spirits to attach themselves. You feel me? So she looked pissed off because everybody is not worried about Sky well being. They just worry about getting money. But that's their thing. They scam people out. Scam people out the readings. So that's how they feed themselves and take care of the bills and stuff. So anyway, so she was like, "I don't know about this." She, her and her boyfriend got into it about it. She left the coffee shop. As she was going back up the stairs, you see a man. As she was coming home, it's a man on the steps. He's talking you know, about wolves dressed up in sheep clothing, how they don't get caught and stuff like that. And that's like, look at that creepy too, because he looked creepy. I was like, what the hell? So you had to listen to that. That's a key. So as she's coming in the house, she chilling, listening to music. She hear her mama doing that. So she called up her boyfriend, was like, "Yo, I do the reading, set everything up, I got you." So she decided to do the reading. So the next scene, they go to Miss Emma's house, and as they enter the house, before they enter the house, Sky was like, "Okay." She pulled her boyfriend to the side and was like, "Okay, this is it. We get our money, we get paid, and after this, y'all gotta find another thing to do for work because I'm not doing this somewhere. I just want to focus on school, yada yada." So he was like, "All right, after this, everybody go their separate way." But I guess they go their separate way themselves. So after that, they go in the house. They greeted. They greeted by Ashley. Ashley is Emma's sister-in-law slash manager. So, as they was just standing there waiting for Miss Emma, I noticed the boy was like, Randy, the camera guy, he was like, we can't upload here because there's no service, there's no signal. And Sky was like, yeah, this is a dead zone. And he was like, what you mean, supernatural dead zone? And she was like, no, there's just no internet. So he was like, oh yeah. But yeah, the only way they could get Wi-Fi signal if they buy the door, the front door. That's the only way they can get a signal. So Emma comes downstairs. Ashley let her know that they were there. So Emma comes downstairs. She comes downstairs. She greets them or whatever. So Sky was like, "Hey, can I go into the rooms where they pass?" So they went to, Emma showed her around the house while they were setting up in the dining area. So Emma showed Sky her daughter kennel room where the baby had drawn it and her husband's office. So she felt the energy and all that. Then the next scene, they all sitting at the table. So if you watch my short story videos, you will see them at the table. And Sky is, and that's why I say what the fuck, like what the fuck. It was just weird to me. That's why I say WTF, like, cause she was like, okay, before we start this reading, I'm gonna need you to breathe. I'm gonna need you to calm down. Just don't think about other stuff. Just focus on your family. So Monique character Emma was like, okay. So everybody just calm or whatever. So she was like, she looked at Monique. She was like, can you say their names for me or whatever so she could connect with them? So Monique said their names 3 times. And they heard footsteps. Or whatever upstairs. And the chandelier started to shake. And I'm looking like, okay, that would be my cue to get up out of it. I was like, okay. Everybody looking like, okay. So, in the midst of that, she start to get a connection. She just got freaked out. Because basically, before she started to crack, her bones started to crack and her eyes started to... Before all that happened, basically she was telling Monique about herself. Like, you're a Scorpio. You love to cook. You mainly like to cook crawfish. And I'm like... And she was saying that about her kids and how they felt about her and her daughter. Like, they had a bond. Stuff like that. So Monique carried to Emma looking like, how she know all this? So Emma, Monique, she left the room. Ashley, her sister-in-law, left the room afterwards behind her, whatever. And Monique in the kitchen going off on Ashley, talking about how she know that. That's weird. And Ashley was like, well, I did told them some things before they did this, so they can get information, but I don't know how they know this and all that. So, Sky and her people, they in there, they talking, they like, what the world was that? Like, why did that happen? And they was like, she was like, I don't know, but I really want... They was telling her like, yo, we need to go while we can. And Sky was like, no, I really want to help her connect with her family. So Monique came, got her thoughts together and all that, came back, sat down. And because her friends was telling Sky, like, yo, I don't think you should follow through this. Like, you up here getting possessed and we don't know what else could happen. You feel me? So they was freaked out. Everybody was freaked out. So when Monique character Emma came back and sat down again, she was like, repeat their name slowly this time. So the girl started, after she did it 3 times. After Monique did it 3 times, the girl started to get possessed. So it was a conversation between, I guess, Monique and investor guy named Paul that led up to their death. That was the last moments, what she was basically telling them or whatever. So the last moments, Monique was on this phone with this guy named Paul, and she was saying to Paul, like, oh, this ain't gonna work. I need an investment now, yada yada. They was talking business. So I guess it was a business deal gone wrong, basically. Then after that, she got possessed by her oldest daughter, Kendall. And Kendall started singing a song. And she was like, she was reading a text that Kendall, was doing. Because Kendall, in the beginning of the movie, she was texting somebody in her room. So Sky was, possessed by Kendall. And she was saying what the text was saying or whatever. Then after that, she got possessed by the baby. And the baby was like, hey, mommy, what you doing? That part creeped me out because I was like, oh, hell no. So she started, like, the veins in her face started to get stronger. Her blood pressure was going high. Her eyes and all that. It was just crazy. Like, she was literally getting possessed. So anyway, water came out her mouth. I was like, what the world? I said, time to go to the church. So yeah, like, water was coming out her mouth. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So after that, Monique went to the security thing to lock the doors to the security area. And after they left her body, I'm assuming, Sky looked in a corner. She looked in a corner behind Randy, the camera guy, and she looked in the corner, and I guess they was telling her, like, hey, I gotta get up out of there. And she's the reason we're dead. Her husband and her kids, I guess they was trying to warn Sky and her friends, like, hey, you gotta get up out of here. So Sky was telling her friends, hey, we gotta go. And we gotta go now. So her boyfriend, Sky boyfriend, went to Monique because he see Monique punching codes to lock him in. And he was like, hey, you could keep the money. There's no harm being done. We just want to go. And, he was talking aggressive to Emma. And Emma just shot him. And we like, I thought she could use a gun. I thought, So I'm looking like, what the world? So she ain't. So her speech was normal again. She didn't use her cane. She could walk. So I'm like, what the world happened? So Monique character, Emma, sat back down. And she looked at Sky. She was like, you want to tell your friends why they can't leave? And Sky was like, she killed her family. So the sister-in-law actually like, oh, no. Why would you do that? Like, why would you kill my brother? And pow, she got hit. She got shot, and they started running. The friends and them started running. Then Monique went to the sister-in-law and was telling her, shh, be quiet. I got a message. I want you to tell the family I say hello. Pow, shot her. She dead. Ashley's dead. So everybody hiding. So Sky and her boyfriend went into the oldest daughter Kendall room, and Jess and Randy, they was trying to figure out like where to hide themselves. So Randy saved Jess, put her in a closet that was underneath the steps, basically. Put her in a closet and closed her in there. he was in the kitchen. Monique knew he was in the kitchen. She kind of seen his stuff, I guess. And she was like, oh, didn't your mother told you not to play in the kitchen because you might hurt yourself or stuff like that? So she shot him. Then she was like, you know what, I ain't gonna shoot you, baby. He on the floor crawling or whatever. So she was like, I ain't gonna shoot you, baby. I ain't gonna shoot you, baby. You don't deserve to get killed like this. So she grabbed a hammer and she started, killing him, whatever, with the hammer. So camera guy dead. Randy's dead. All right. Okay, Randy's dead. All right. So the only 3 people left is Sky, her boyfriend, and her homegirl Jess. So Miss Emma, which is Monique, she go in this scene. She do like I'll call it Freddie, but she do like, you remember the song 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, 3, 4. Yeah, she did a remix of that, and she was like, Emma's coming for you. Like she do a creepy. She's like, like she did a creepy scene. So I'm like, what the fuck? So it was funny, but it wasn't funny. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. So then she went upstairs. So they running around the house trying to escape her. So the girl, so before that, Emma was like, y'all trying to, she was like, oh, y'all young bees today. Y'all complain about, oh, it's too hard and this is too hard. And she was like, y'all need to shut up. And she was like, I could take a challenge. I ain't got no problem taking a challenge. All that. She was talking junk, So the girls reunited downstairs because they bumped into each other. So the mailman came by. They was trying to get the mailman attention. And they was like, yo, help, help, help. Mailman, he had his earbuds in, so he ain't even listen. So when they turned around and seen Emma running, like, because she was doing her running, she's a track star. Like, yeah, she when Monique / Emma came in and ran towards them, they ran upstairs. Then that when the mailman turned around and seen them, and he was like, like, kids today type situation. But Emma running through the house after them like she a runner, she a track star, whatever like that. So y'all, that what came to my head. I was like, she's a runner, she's a track star. So anyway, so I was like, yo, this movie crazy. So they all upstairs. So Monique was like, / Emma, that's her character, I'm sorry. Emma was like, where, I know y'all got questions, like where, why, how, that what they taught us in school, right? So Sky was telling her like Kendall died confused, the baby, he forgave her, he thought he was getting in trouble, that's why he died. And I was like, that's some sad stuff. Like, how could you kill your own kids? So they was trying to make her feel bad for what she did. And she thought about it. She sat there and you thinking, oh, she got a change of heart, Because she was thinking, like, what I done. Like, you would see her pause, like, and look sad for a moment. Like, dang, like, what I done. Then she started laughing, like, ha, ha, ha. She said, F them kids and F you too. I was like, dang, F the kids, F them. I said, what? So I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. So she noticed a room door was open. She was like, I never leave the room door like that open. So she nonchalantly, she was like, pow, 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 pow. So the boyfriend died. She was about to shoot the boyfriend in the head. He opened the door, crawl out. So he died. She was about to shoot the boyfriend in the head, but she didn't because she ran out of bullets. Now this small gun, you would think, dang, how many rounds she had in the gun, because it was so small. It looked like 8 bullets could fit in that gun, but yeah, like she was shooting all rounds, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so after that, the girls they split up. They trying to figure out like how they gonna get out of the house, and she was like, "Y'all trying to have old Emma work for the kill," stuff like that. And so the girls was like, "Okay, if both of us tackle her, she won't be able to do that." So they thought, you feel me? So when we looked downstairs, before they went downstairs, Sky changed her clothes. Sky changed into Emma's clothes. Listen, remember that she changed into Emma's clothes. Remember that. So, they met her downstairs. They seen her. She was sitting downstairs. So Sky was trying to distract her. Jess was already down there. So they both was attacking her when they went down there. Well, before they went down there, Emma was like, she looked at her and she just was like, "Girl, but I ain't about to chase you." Because she was like, the only way y'all get signal if you come to the door, to the front door. That's the only way y'all get signal. I was like, dang, she got a smart house. Like, the windows are bulletproof, everything. She got a bunch of locks, metals, and it was a smart house. Okay. So she was like, she wasn't worried about it because in order for them to call somebody, they had to be at the door because that's the only way they get signal and stuff like that is at the door. So they was like, we gonna get up out of here. We gonna escape. We just gonna be left or whatever like that. So they was fighting Emma and whatnot. So Monique grabbed the knife and stabbed Jess. So Jess died. She stabbed Jess in the heart. And she didn't care. She just killed the stabber. So the only person that was left at this point is Sky. So Sky and her running, she running, chasing Sky. And that's another thing. She was like, if it was only one of them, she probably could get away with a story because it was one person versus two people. But since she brought her friends, she had to kill everybody. Everybody had to die because they knew her secret. So, anyway, make a long story short, so Sky and her got into it. She got on top of Sky, and she realized Sky had on her shirt. And she was like, "Is that my shirt, B?" And Sky just shot her right here. And the next scene, we witnessed Sky on the same talk show like Emma was earlier in the movie. So, the lady was like, "How you got out of there?" And she was like, she had to punch in some codes. It was tough, but she got out of there. So she was like, it's a shame that Emma was here not too long ago and she sat here and lied to us, and she the one who did, she killed her family, and she's saying that she the one, who didn't kill her family. Like, she just sat there and lied. So Sky had her hair up and she had like a bang, and she was like, "I know, right?" Like, she looked in the camera like it was Emma. So let me know in the comments down below, what was your thoughts of the movie if you've seen it. And for the ones who didn't see it, go see it. It's a good movie. It have you laughing. I ain't never laughed at a scary movie until now. Like, that thing will have you laughing. But comment your thoughts of the movie down below if you already seen it. But in my case, I feel like they should come out with a part 2. And also, I feel like Miss Emma possessed Sky body. That's just me. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.